God and Batman.
Yo, happy Christmas, Merry New Year's, happy holidays and all that. I wanted to show you like a beginning of the ladder type vibe video. In my last video, I was showing off my non-ladder sorceress who's been hand-me-downed gear from like several years of ladder, and I've got a few comments throughout recording these videos of just like, dude, this is impossible to actually obtain without using like JSP and trading them and stuff. So I got you, gonna show off some of these lower level characters. Here we have a sorceress that's level 26. Okay, so I was playing online and I got gifted this longsword rune base with 4 open sockets. So the downside is that has a high strength requirement for a sorceress, but who cares? You know, restat and at level 80 or something after you farmed a bit. And I also got gifted this insight. Yeah, the insight. But I'm starting to collect the runes that I would be able to make a newer one. Was trying out this before being able to have access to a stealth, just to have like some regenerate mana and life. Having some extra life here, faster cast rate is good, and as many parts of Sig's armor that you can find. Nagel is great for this ladder, and so is Gull, and I think I'm gonna just shove some of these resistance gems in there. But yeah, early ladder is just basically whatever you can get your hands on, whatever you can trade for, whatever you can have access to. If I didn't have something like this spirit, I would probably be using some random triumphant eagle orb of self-repair with +3 to firebolt and really focus on my firebolt damage. Or if I had something like this, I would lean more into ice bolt damage or charged bolt. Early levels charged bolts is really awesome. Right. This one is a fire and ice sorceress. I'm going to say basically any early ladder source, you're going to want to hit up warmth as soon as you can after maybe putting 1 point into firebolt, ice bolt, or charged bolt. After putting 1 into one of those suckers, you're going to slap it 1 point onto warmth and leave it like that. If you want frozen armor, you take it. And static field is really useful to high level energy enemies, like bosses, Diablo, Bale, whatever. Also works in a group. AoE if you have enough plus to skills, and there's also, you want to get teleport as fast as possible. And in my opinion, getting enough strength points so you can use 6 shields. 6 shield has 75 strength, and at lower levels 75 strength is basically all the strength you're going to need to use any useful item pre-level 30. And you can also use as many charms that you can to get strength and dexterity points up. Also your resistance. In normal, having resistance is really helpful, but not really mandatory. And the mercenaries using a random weapon with chipped skull and rare helmet and Eisenhardt's case. So, you know, I want to show off if you're... So this character is starting to clear in Nightmare, but I just got rushed through Nightmare, I think. So playing through... Playing through normal is most of where I'm going to farm until I get a few more pieces of... maybe not even a few more pieces of gear, just more so experience and being able to do more damage to clear more effectively. Because if you're able to survive, but you're not able to clear that quickly, it just makes sense to just go to a lower level and farm for a bit. You know. And then I kind of mosey as well to look at my mana pool go up without using potions. I don't like to just collect potions and have to use them and have an inventory full of potions. Great. So I think that's a good enough demo for her. Cool. So I'll also talk about this paladin here. I wanted to show off a few different characters at lower levels. You know, I'll consider 20 lower end of the level. This guy has he's missing the armor and the boots of Sigs, but when you're lower level, Sigs is like the best armor set that you can get, and you can start using it pretty early as long as you have enough strength. 60 to the strength is kind of a lot, but if you have a few charms or rings or a combination of things to start wearing the gloves with a strength requirement of 60, you know, maybe if you want to put some amethysts into, I'm going to do that right now actually, into an armor so that you can have plus to strength. So here you go, plus 9 to strength without this. No. Boom. I got gifted this armor as well. Really, really good. Ethereal, self-repair, poison length reduction. Pretty ideal at a level 18. It's like 400 defense is nuts at this level. The life and mana obviously are great, but you know, parts of Sigs, the helmet, the shield, the boots. I think I'll switch these out for the boots when I can. This is a Holy Fire Paladin, and the thing that I wanted to do was try and create as much AoE damage as I could, and sadly enough, you're just not going to do enough damage, and you're not going to be able to level up enough to use strong enough gear to get your AoE damage impressive, you know. So this War Axe is really useful. I put a mixture of Ith runes, Tal rune, and mostly max damage, and one skull. If you want to be able to use this at a lower level, using a chip skull is really great. I wouldn't put the Tal rune in that if I was trying to go for a lower level. For me, just have like a regular sword somewhere that was just like a really basic sword, but it was really nice. But yeah, angelic set, and I'll show you some of the damage that he can output here. Not just also the damage output, but also the survivability. He has really high survivability because he's able to leech lots of strength and mana. It's not so much that he can take hits, it's just that with this aura, even if he is surrounded in a pack, he's still able to do damage to them. And if you're in some sort of like area where these charged worms, like charged worms. So yeah, so check this out. If I'm just taking damage and standing here, their life goes down a significant amount, right? It's obviously going to be much faster to attack, but that damage wasn't nothing. That weren't nothing. Oh yeah, okay. So this is the weapon that I was using before that other weapon. This is like a level 5, really, really decent damage at that level with attack rating. Just something like this where you're just adding, you know, these are, I would use this first, and then I'll use this first, next, and then I'll use that crazy War Axe, you know. Something like this cannot be frozen is nice. At level 6, having that much attack rating and lifesteal, and for a Barb, being able to have defense and have +1 to skills is nuts. But again, as you can see, none of these characters have like full pieces on them. But yeah, as you can see, all these characters are like partially together, not fully put together. So this is another non-ladder sorceress that's level 7. I'm kind of doing the same skill tree, and let's look at her gear. Yeah, something to get some mana back, some strength to be able to start using whatever I want. Regen mana, regen life is always good at lower levels. And random rings and amulets. I got this. This is really nice. But until I can use some more faster cast rate rings, this is like an amazing, impressively strong shield at level 2. To have that much block rate and strength and vitality and energy is like so incredibly strong. Having gear with charged bolt or what is this? Or Nova, and being able to stack them, making sure they're on the same level. So I have 2 that are level 3, 2 pieces of gear that are level 3. So this 10% and 10% get added together. Having poison reduction is cool. Especially for a source, if you're going energy source or something. Using something like this until I can use Leaf at level 19, which is going to, you know, do lots of damage, and also enable me to spam more with having like 9 to warmth is like wild. Trying to think what else is a stealth on any low level character. But when you're going through ladder, when you're going through these early builds, you want to get at least something like this or something like this and make it and have it in your stash ready to go, so that when you hit that level you can start using it immediately. And thinking about what rune words you want is always, you know, in the long run, if you're like, oh, maybe I could trade a bunch of runes early ladder, you can fully do that. But it's always my suggestion to try and get at least 1 stealth armor, and then you can pass it around between your characters or something like that. Especially for ladder stuff. This is a non-ladder sorceress. I don't think it really matters that much, but it is just easier to farm for really specific gear within a shorter amount of time to be able to make a video like this or something. Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Oh, I'll show you some of her damage before we head out. Let's go Darkwood. That's what I'm looking for. If you can see the damage difference between just a normal attack and using any of these spells, because the spells are still so weak. That's why with sorceresses, there's kind of like a point where your damage starts to take off. But early levels, sometimes it's just worth it to just hold on to a sword and focus more on some attacks and stuff. Thank you for watching the video. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you like this content, and let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're making a hardcore character, if you're making a character that you're starting out at lower levels, you know, something like a hardcore source where you might have to start over a few times and figure out what gear works pretty well at like level 3 or something like that. Looking forward. Hope you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.